Hi everybody. Welcome once again to a Low on Health year-end review. This is of course a rehash of the 2009 Besides Gaming articles I wrote up on lowanhealth.com, and right now I am doing basically a video for them, a video edition of them, because that article in that database is no longer online. It's still available and I have a master file, but what I'm doing right now is kind of putting videos to them. And once again, if you don't want to watch the videos, you can just read the descriptions down there. That'll give you a basic breakdown of my idea on premise, but this one will focus on BBC shows that I watched in 2009. Let's go ahead and start off with here. I do want to mention real quick too, a lot of these are available on Netflix, and I watched a lot of them on Netflix because Netflix has a great BBC library, and all these I will recommend to people. So the first one I'm going to start off with is the classic Red Dwarf series. Now this, of course, is a classic geek series that has been around forever. They did a kind of a movie recently, a newer movie kind of special for it. But I heard of it, but I never really watched the whole series until recently, once again because of Netflix. And I enjoyed it immensely. I just love the sharp wit and the humor, the basic sci-fi references. It's just a nice kind of just buddy. You know, you got the straight guy and kind of the kooky guy, and it's just really, really great. Classic just comedy duo, and I recommend anybody to definitely watch this if you haven't already, if you consider yourself a geek. And really, if I ever get two more cats, it's going to be Lister and Rimmer. They're definitely going to be named Lister and Rimmer, and one is going to be black and one is going to be white. But I loved Red Dwarf. Moving on here, the next show I'm going to talk about is going to be The League of Gentlemen. And this is kind of course, a kooky little, comedy troupe in Britain and England and whatnot. And this basically kind of focuses on a little hamlet out in kind of, I would say, the country of the boondocks of, England. And it's just really, really funny and good. I mean, it kind of has a little more kind of outlandish. I don't want to say outlandish. I'm just trying to think. It has more of a quirkiness to it than one would expect from other BBC series, and especially kind of the backwoodsness and countryness of it. But I just very much enjoyed it. It's once again one of those series that I definitely recommend to everybody, along with probably the next one, which is kind of the same line of it. The next one I'm going to talk about is going to be Little Britain. Now, this is another kind of TV series that I got interested in. A lot of these shows I got interested in after I watched Space, which I probably haven't mentioned, but I should mention Space. It's awesome. This is Little Britain, which is done by David Williams. Oh, I can't remember the name, and I'm going to kill myself. But a great show, basically parodying, British lifestyle, English lifestyle, and whatnot. And it's just awesome and great and funny. And I recommend Little Britain. Matt Lucas, their names are on there. I should probably read those, But this is a great series. Once again, it's on Netflix, and this actually got me to I rented the live they did a live show like a stage show, and they took it around to Australia and I forgot where else, but they did a stage show for this, and it basically sold out and made them a bunch of money. And I rented the DVD of the stage show, and it was just phenomenal. It's kind of like a greatest hits of them doing stuff live, and it was just superb. And I really just the one main guy, David, is awesome. He actually swung the English channel. They have a nice little special on that, and he's actually kind of an inspiration. These guys are just great, and I definitely recommend watching Little Britain. It is just fantastic. And of course, Thomas Baker doing all the narrations is also just great. Moving on here. The next one I want to mention is going to be Torchwood. This is, of course, the Doctor Who spin-off. This actually, I got interested in Torchwood because it's kind of a sexy-ish, X-File-ish. And that actually got me interested in Doctor Who and made me start watching the backlog of Doctor Who. But Torchwood, it follows, Jack and everything, who's a great character. A lot of the characters are just really great. And it's kind of more of an X-File-ish kind of British show. And I definitely recommend it to anybody that if you know Doctor Who, you've watched this. It's kind of sad that it's ended, but the Children of Earth was actually a good little kind of OAV for this. And I definitely enjoyed watching Torchwood and recommend it to any Doctor Who fan. Which, of course, has just got to lead me into, I do believe, Doctor Who. In which case, because of Torchwood, I went back and started watching Doctor Who, starting with, the 10th Doctor, David Tennant, which is phenomenal. Search YouTube for this 10th Doctor, the musical, because it's a great kind of just overarching story and kind of follows how, the 10th Doctor, his whole rise and fall, and it was just awesome. And, of course, this is my Doctor. I love him so much. He's awesome. He's stylish. He's funny. He's great. He's a great actor. But I started watching the series from then, and actually I've gone back and watched from the first new series with the 9th Doctor. But I loved every single one of these. I love the Master arc. I love basically everything they've done with him. Of course, my favorite companion for him is Rose. I will talk about the other new Doctor at the end for my next BBC show, my next live action show. But really a nice kind of sad, heartwarming ending to this Doctor too. When after this series ended, they did kind of a two-parter at the New Year, in which case they kind of decided to wrap up some things and whatnot, and they gave this Doctor a very, very proper send-off, like a very heartwarming send-off, and I just really, really much enjoyed it. It's so sad. He's such a good Doctor. And Rose, man, him and Rose, wow. I just look at this. This is a great end. This is kind of spoiling it if you haven't watched it. In which case, if you watch this, definitely go ahead and watch the whole new Doctor Who. It is probably one of the best things to come out of TV series in a very long time. Just go watch that again here. There's all the Doctors through all the years. In which case, the 10th is, of course, going to be my favorite for a long, very long time. Okay, moving on here. I'm sorry, I read about Doctor Who too much there. Moving on. You have the IT Crowd, which is another series that I pushed off forever until I finally watched it. It's on Netflix. Basically follows the IT, crew, the IT workers, the IT department, and a, British business, English business. In which case, all the nuances of working in IT and just the crazy kind of geekiness and kookiness and wackiness of the world gets thrown in there, and it's just a really, really great series. It has a lot of just really cool, funny kind of British and English kind of nuances to it, and I just really much enjoyed it. Can't recommend it more. Of course, I'm recommending all these things above everything else because they must be good because I watched them. Moving on here, the next thing I want to talk about is going to be Merlin, in which case this is one that I can't recommend. This is a series I kind of started watching. It's kind of like a young Merlin, like young Indiana Jones, where he basically kind of learns his rope. He knows he has magic. He knows King Arthur, and they're both kind of teenagers, and they're kind of coming to terms with what they are and what their places in life are going to be. Yeah, after like the 5th or 6th episode, I'm like, this is just yawn boring. I couldn't really get into it. If anything, it was fun to watch because some of the homoerotic tendencies in between Merlin and his mentor. But other than that, not that great of a series. I do not recommend it. Next one I'm going to talk about here is going to be Planet Earth. Now, BBC, because this is a British show, they have done Planet Earth, which is a super awesome documentary, like an all-encompassing documentary on Earth. And they also did one for Life, I'll talk about later. But they did one on Planet Earth, in which case I watched this in high def. You have to watch this in high def. If you have Blu-ray, get it. I don't think it's on Netflix, but this is like an essential HD collection, and it looks phenomenal in HD. Like, I was literally blown away with all these landscapes. If you really want to kind of, not necessarily go on vacation, but see what Earth has to offer, this series is great. There's a bunch of series like this, like National Geographic has one, but BBC, their Planet Earth series is just, I want to say, the best and all-encompassing. In which case, I do say The Caves was probably one of my favorite of those segments, and definitely recommend, if you have the ability to rent this or watch this in high def, watch Planet Earth. It is very informative, and it's just kind of breathtaking at times. The vistas and landscapes are just phenomenal. And they actually give you kind of like a lesson, too, where you kind of learn about why this area, why this geography is like this, why it was made like this and stuff, and it's just really, really great. Going on the whole geography vibe, I also watched in 2009, I think on Netflix too, because they had a bunch of this stuff, like the Walking with the Monsters and Dinosaurs, which was really kind of cool because I'm kind of a science nerd and kind of evolution nerd, if anything. And this kind of started from when the Earth, the series starts like when the Earth was very primordial, and basically follows the evolutionary path of like the fish, the reptiles, and then the reptiles, the land mammals, the dinosaurs, all the different stages of the dinosaurs, and so on and so forth. In which case, I just found I found it more interesting. These scenes are great and all, but I just like to see how the evolution, like, because of this, the next step was that. I love that immensely. And I will also go on record on saying there was another series besides this, I can't remember the names of them off the top of my head, that I watched that was just awesome. I probably will actually bring them up. I think I know what they're called. But there's also another series that goes into the future of evolution, like with animals and whatnot, and what might happen with Planet Earth or other alien places and whatnot. But this is kind of a series, if you have kids or something, or if you're interested in this kind of dinosaurs and reptiles and kind of just what the Earth was like, I find this series to be very educational, if not entertaining, if you like this kind of stuff. But that's really about it for this 2009 Besides Gaming recap. This is, of course, BBC stuff. I don't think I watch a lot of BBC stuff currently, and I'll probably just get grouped in with TV, but keep an eye out for other 2009 Besides Gaming and other year-end reviews. And as always, thank you for watching.